What's up, guys? Said Hendo here, back at you with another video. This is really more kind of like an update, just something I wanted to put out there about this new motor I'm about to test. You guys are going to see me fly it. I put it on a frame that I'm very familiar with, and you know, it's a really cool, really good looking motor. Now, the motor I'm talking about is this new motor from FlyWoo. It's actually a series of motors. I actually have the gold series. Ivan has the platinum one. They also have a silver series. Now the platinum is a 2207. It comes in 3 different KVs, as well as the gold and as well as the silver. These motors look to be really phenomenal. They look really good. Now, looks aren't everything. I do like the flash, but we really want to know what's in them, what's going on in these motors. So I'm going to review these motors for you real quick and just kind of tell you what I see and kind of give you a little bit of specs on them and just kind of let you know what's going on. I personally put them on a an X-Hover frame that I have, actually one that I'm giving away. So I just wanted you to check them out real quick, and I did give you a slight preview on them, but let's get deep into the specs on these things. All right. This is the NIN 2306. I know you guys can't necessarily see that, but it says NIN 2306. This is a 2450 kV motor. Now, this is obviously 2450 means that more than likely it's going to be great for a 4S setup, which is what's on this frame right here, which is a WIN 5, by the way. This is a X-Hover WIN 5 frame with a canopy on it. Okay, so anyway, this motor has a really nice coating. This is some sort of electro conductive type coating that they've put on here. It's really good looking, but more than that, they claim that it is you know, a very durable coating, and this electroplating is really kind of special, something that they do. Now, they do call it a NIN. I don't know what NIN. That's how I pronounce it, NIN. It might be 9, but I'm not real sure about that. They're not a German company, so I assume they're pronouncing it NIN. And like I said, this is a 2306. Now, like I said, the platinum series of this motor, which Ivan has, I have the gold. They also have a silver series of this motor. The silver is also a 2306. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is from the gold and the silver is, but at a glance, the specs look about the same, but I'm sure there's some differences. Now, there's a big difference between this 2306 motor and the 2207 that Ivan has. Well, he has the platinum ones, and so that's going to be very different. Now, as you can tell, man, this really looks good on this frame, and it probably would look good on almost any frame, to be honest with you. I wanted to do my review a little bit different to kind of, I just wanted you guys to kind of see how I'm putting motors on and just kind of see what I would do. Now, I'm sure some of you are like, hey, why do you do his wires at that? You know, very simply, I'm just trying to maintain some length in case I swap these and put them on something else. That's really all this is for. Normally, I would probably make these little loops a little bit shorter and a little bit tighter, but that works for now. It's going to serve its purpose just fine. Now, it would be a disservice to you guys not to talk about some of the other features that are on this motor. Now, some of the other things that they boast about really on this motor is the fact that it has a high-strength titanium alloy shaft. The bell is a 70-75 aluminum alloy, which increases the durability, obviously. And it has high-quality N52H magnets. And they have heat-resistant copper, which is, you know, pretty much all this stuff is pretty much standard in the game right now. The bearings on here are, these are what are they, NSK 4x9x4 bearings. They're from Japan, and this is what they have on all their 9 motors. It comes with 150 millimeters of wire, obviously an M5 shaft size. Stator height is 6 millimeter, and stator diameter is 23 millimeter. Now, obviously, they say that it weighs 32.8 grams. You know what? I'm not one to sit here and try to measure and weigh every little thing. Obviously, they're going to be somewhere around that weight, give or take a tenth of a gram or so, and I'm just going to trust them on that. What I'm most interested in is what the real world says about these things. Basically, when I pull it apart, when I look at it, what does my eye tell me? You know, I've pulled apart a lot of motors and for various reasons, for cleaning, for diagnosing issues and things like that. And I have to say, you know, what I see in this motor, in this bell in particular right now, I'm pretty impressed with. You know, some of the things that most people don't really take in consideration with motor design and motor quality is things like, can you see a lot of putty or whatnot to balance this thing? Now, I'll be honest, I see a couple of little dribbles of putty in there, which is absolutely necessary for balancing. The fact that it is there means a lot. The fact that there is a little bit of a lip on the bell itself so the magnet doesn't slip down. The fact that I can tell that there's glue in there holding these magnets onto this bell. Those are really good things. I want to see those things. I want good quality build when I look at this. Obviously, it has a screw to hold this bell onto the motor, and it's hollow, and it's a titanium shaft, like I had mentioned. So these are very common things that good motors should have nowadays. If you don't have those things, I'm not sure what you have that's going to be better, but this is really good. Now, the spokes, the way this is designed, this top section, if some of us look at this and it reminds us on wheels on a car, you know, I'm sure there's a car out there that has wheels that look like this, because most all of the motors nowadays that we see all have a design that looks like wheels on a car, and there happens to be 4 of them, so that's even more common. But the thing I'm looking at is how well or how much material has been taken away, and how clean is that is the connection between this top area and that and the perimeter. Does it feel, does it look solid? Is it high quality, or is it kind of, buggered up? Like some motors, you'll see some really shisty and really kind of weak designs, things that might break. I can't say whether or not this one will or not. All I can say is that it looks pretty dang strong. It looks like everything is, really routed and treated in such a way to keep the strength. So I like that. I think it's great. It does have the low profile nuts that it comes with, which I think is really good. To be honest with you, some of the things that I grew to love is like on what T-Motor has, which is a more aggressive texture to this base area where the prop would actually sit. This one has some slots, 6 little slots all the way around, and that'll probably bite onto the prop if it happens to slide a little bit, but it's definitely not as aggressive as the T-Motor style of notching or gnarling on this area here. But this looks pretty good as is. They have some really nice silk printing on here with the name and their logo and the numbers on the motor and things like that. I think that's great. Let's take a look at the stator. Now the stator, I wanted to put it on this arm. First of all, it makes it easier to handle. You get to see kind of what it looks like on there. And as you can tell, this is not much different than what you would see out of a lot of other motors that we fly. Now you can tell that these are single wound, which is totally fine. It's probably going to have a bit more torque because it has a single strand, but at least that's what I found in the past. But again, you do have motors like the T-Motor F40 2306 that has dual strand, so it's not necessarily a have to. I think the way this is put together, how nice and tight, how clean the heat shrink goes all the way up to the stator itself. They actually have this extra little piece that comes off the base there to protect the wires a bit, if you can see that. And I like that because you don't have this area can easily get torn out sometimes when you know, arm breaks or whatever. But it looks like this area really kind of holds the wire a little bit more right in there. I do like that. The base is nice and thick, so you can use, if you have to, you can use just a tiny bit longer screw to get a full bite on that base area, so you can have some really good screws into there to make sure these are tight, because some arms aren't going to have 4 holes, they're going to have 3, and if you're going to have 3, then you want to make sure that your screw's going all the way through. Now, because the winding or the wire coming into the motor has a protective coating on it, and also has a heat shrink over it, you don't want to get that screw too deep into there and get into that wire. But you know, most of us know that, and they're not extremely close. If you really see that, they're not too close where you can do that too easily. I do like the fact there is a nice thick base to them though. But that's that. Here's the kind of bottom view of the bearing. Nice, and it really has a nice deep wall on the bearing too. Keeps everything nice and stable. I'm gonna slide this bell back in there and kind of allow you to kind of see how well it spins. Well, that's the top bearing there. And I'm gonna line it up, and it goes all the way down. And it just is so crisp and smooth right through there. Really nice. Now, obviously, all brand new motors are going to have that nice, smooth feel and kind of make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But let's just be honest, once you've bashed on these things a little bit, who knows what those bearings are going to do. I have yet to find really high quality bearings that you cannot destroy, because you can destroy these things. It all depends on your flying and what ends up happening, or if it ends up water or grass or gravel or sand. If any of that gets in there, you're gonna have to clean those areas, and you know, get some oil in there, and don't over oil. You know, more is not more when it comes to bearings. You know, just enough is all you need. Now these, you know, if you look at the gap, and I'm looking, let me kind of point to it here and get this just a bit closer for you. If you just look at the gap between that magnet and stator right there, man, that's a pretty dang tight gap. Now, to me, what I've noticed is that motors that are that close, first of all, if this bell at all is weak and and you ding it a little bit, you will notice that your magnet is going to now scuff on your stator there. But if this bell is strong and it's built like they say it's built, you're not going to have too much issue with this bell bending into that stator. But with that gap between that stator and that magnet being so tight, and I'm looking between this, you see the little green stator and the magnet right there on the edge. Look how tight that gap is. That is one of the tightest gaps I've ever seen. I mean, really, really close. Now I'm going to pull out a T-Motor F40 to compare it with, because we know what to expect. Now, this is a new T-Motor. I don't want to hear anybody's mouth, oh, that's not fair, it's brand new. Well, that motor's brand new too. All right, but anyway, here's the T-Motor. Here, just so you guys don't call me a liar there. It's a F40 Pro 3, and this is a 2400 kV. Not 2450 like this one, but a 2400. Don't really think it matters that much, 50 kV. But like I was talking about, it's multi-stranded wires around the stator on the T-Motor. They have a pretty nice thick base, not as thick as the one on the FlyWoo motor, but very close. Okay, very similar bearings, things like that. But let's take a look at how close and how tight the tolerance is on a T-Motor compared to this motor, the FlyWoo motor. Very, very close. Now, if we're honest, we can tell that the stator and the magnets are really, really close here. As a matter of fact, it is so close that I I mean, I can't necessarily with the naked eye tell if that was exactly the same or if this one has a little bit more space on it. Nevertheless, when you move them, when you move the bell, it really does feel very, very similar. Very, very similar feel. It's not super notchy. They're very, very smooth. Okay? So, you know, as you turn the motor by hand, you'll feel the different fields turning on and off. The magnet, you know, going strong and weak very quickly. And they feel very much the same. So I take that as a really good sign. I take that as a good sign because I know what to expect from T-Motor. They've been around long enough. I know that their product is high quality. Look at that 5-star on that sucker, baby. That looks like some wheels on a ride. But you know, the FlyWoo motor it seems to have all of the characteristics of a really, really good motor. The only thing that's going to determine the difference in my eyes is how it flies. So since this thing has really good specs on it, from what they've shown us, keep in mind that this is a brand new motor to the game, and you know, we're gonna have to test them out and see exactly what they can and can't do and what they feel like. That's what's important. What does it feel like in the air? If it doesn't perform like what we're used to, then, you know, I'll be honest, I will be the first to take them off my quad. I do not want them on my quad if they don't perform. I want performance. I want everything to feel like it's supposed to. I want it to be familiar to me. I don't want any surprises. So I'm looking forward to flying these FlyWoo. By the way, you can pick these up at flywoo.net. You can pick them up on Banggood. You can pick them up a couple of different places. I've seen them for as cheap as, matter of fact, I think they actually have them on sale right now. If they're not on sale, maybe that might be their regular price. I'm not sure. But $19.20 is what they're advertising on their website. And the Platinum Edition are actually $17 and some change. So they're even cheaper if you want that 2207 size. Like I said, this is a 2306, and the Silver Edition is also a 2306. So, and again, they do have these in a 1750 kV, a 2450 kV, and a 2750 kV. So you do have a 6S option and two 4S options. So I would have rather have these in a 2750 kV. I think that would have been better. But I'm interested in seeing what the 2450 is like also. Again, these are the FlyWoo NIN motors. They're the N2306. They're 2S to 6S. Brand new motors. These are Gold Series. So check these guys out. If you don't trust my evaluation of them, which will be coming up here real soon, I think these are going to be a surprise in the game. I really think they are. With that single strand, I think we're going to see something a little bit different. Single strand, strong magnet, not too strong of a magnet, but a pretty strong magnet. Very tight tolerance between the stator and the magnet. Very light. I think, well, I shouldn't say very light, but light enough to where you still have some durability. Nice features to keep this motor on your quad and not have it flop off in the air. Also, guys, one good thing that you need to do when you're putting these nuts in here, I mean these screws into this motor, put a little dab of Loctite on that and then put that in. It's going to save your butt, I promise you. What's going on, my fellow YouTubers? Your boy Said Hendo here, back at you with another funky video. But check it out, I got something a little different today. I'm flying with some friends of mine. You might know some of these guys. I know you know me, Said Hendo, actually. But I got some buddies flying with me today. Y'all recognize this guy? Tell these guys who you are.
The originals.
If you don't know this guy is McGap. He's badass. Check him out. He's obviously going to be at Nationals, but
Nationals?
Yeah, just pay attention. I might show you a little bit of his footage, but maybe not too. We're going to move on.
No baby daddy.
We're going to move on to my buddy Taylor, Mr. Handycock himself.
What up?
Don't let the name fool you. Anyway, I'm going to have him fly the quad that I told you I was going to fly myself. But since he's here and I can commentate while he's flying, that's just a better setup to me. Check it out. That's it right there. So we're going to try out these new motors. The Gold Series of the NINs, NIN 2306 motors. These are 2450 kV, like I said. But what do you think just looking at them?
They're shiny.
They're shiny. They look pretty good on that quad though, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Yeah. So yeah, of course. So we're gonna find out what they fly like. We're gonna get Taylor's objective view. You're gonna get my objective view, and we're just gonna go from there. Guess who else is out here? And I'm gonna go find him real quick. And I just wanna put him on the spot real quick because he's here. Hey, come here, you little skinny boy.
What?
I'm putting your ass on my video.
I hope you're not vlogging with the GoPro.
Yes, this is what I do. This is how I do it.
I hope your settings are right.
I'm sure you guys know this guy right here, Mr. Captain Mother freaking Vanover himself. Say what's up to everybody out there.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Vandy in the house.
Yes. Every now and then I get to fly with this guy. We always have a good time. We always do something. Yeah, we do need to fly more. He lives close enough, but you know, I've been hanging out with my girl lately, so I can't mess with a bunch of dudes all the time.
Don't get married, don't have sex, and don't get a girlfriend. Be single, save your money.
Use contraception. Anyway. You guys, y'all see where we're at. We're not going to tell you what this location is, but some of you may know, but we don't care if you do or not. But we're indoor. We are indoor on a football field, baby. Oh, yeah. Check this dude out right here. You seen him fly before?
Everybody? Yeah, I'm really slow.
Well, check it out. We're out here having a good old freaking time. Look at the track again. I'm gonna just let y'all see that track again. Oh yeah, look at that, hanging gates and everything. What do y'all know about that, man? Y'all don't know anything about that. So Mr. Vanover's gonna fly here in a second. I might let y'all see a little bit of that. What you got, Captain? What you gonna do for him? You gonna fly? You gonna fly? All right, let's see it.
I'm gonna wait for this beat drop.
Yeah, you gonna let the beat drop? Oh yeah, by the way, those of y'all that don't know, let me see this real quick, Taylor. This is a really awesome frame. This is a MIG Vice frame. Most of y'all, you see that little emblem in the middle, that little skull right there, half skull thing? That means it's a MIG Vice frame. Yeah, it's X-Class. Tell them about it real quick, Taylor. Tell them what's this? What is this?
I don't even know how to pronounce the name because he put some weird Italian name on it. It's like a
what you got on it then?
Whatever. It's an 825 millimeter running some T-motor F1000s.
With the big boys.
It's a 675 kV, so I'm limited to 6S.
All right.
APD 120s, the APD PDB. I got a Radix flight controller, a TBS Unify, and then a Foxeer camera for the win.
Coxier. Anyway, I like it, man. I saw him fly it earlier. It flies really well.
New goodness.
Who makes these props again?
These are the MAS, the Master Air Screw.
Master Air Screw, nice. And these are flexible, unlike the other ones that were rigid, right?
Yeah, and they took a few hits, but we do have a broken one.
All right, well.
So they do break.
If you're not breaking, you're not flying. I'm just saying. Let's check out Mr. Vanover real quick. He think he badass watching. So there he is in the loop-de-loop. He's coming around, about to go into the little cube. Now he's on the back stretch, going over the little obstacle there, coming back around and watch him go through the top gate. Oh yeah, boy. Yeah. That's good stuff there. Very smooth lines. I hate this dude. I just hate him. I hate him. I really do. No one's supposed to be able to fly that well. Yeah. Anyway, as you can tell, we're having fun out here. But we about to get down to business. We're gonna fly real quiet. Screw all these other stuff. I'll be everything good, Taylor? Take your time. Try not to be in their way, Taylor.
Your pitch rate is way faster than
Yes, it is. By the way, I have not tuned this quad. I haven't changed anything that I used to fly. These used to have F40 Pro V2s on it, and I didn't change anything, so Taylor's just kind of getting used to what I had on there. What are you thinking so far, Taylor? Does it feel smooth? Does it feel quick? Does it feel fast? I know it feels quick because the rates, but what does the motors feel like?
Feel really strong.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, like you don't need much throttle input to get what you're asking for.
This is 4S and it's 2450 motor, so they feel strong, huh? Okay. All right. Somebody's hung up on the cube. Yeah. It's looking really smooth, Taylor. What do you feel about it?
Surprisingly, the tune is really good.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a little bit of oscillations and some turns and stuff.
Really? So you're seeing the oscillation?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
Barely. You can hear them more than you can see them.
I didn't hear anything with all that other noise going on, but cool. That's good to know. Oh, whoa, look at that. So wrap around us real quick and get a nice little punch out. Punch. There you go. Yeah.
Hey, Taylor. Definitely got some power.
Got some bones?
Going out of the cube.
All right, he's going over to the cube, Taylor. Come stay on this side of the track. There you go. He's flying a Win 5.
Why is he flying a Win 5?
He's testing out some motors that I just put on. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Good.
Do I have the voltage on the screen in there, Taylor?
Yeah.
All right. This is 4S, so.
They have a good transition from high throttle to low throttle.
Okay.
It's really smooth when you drop down to that low throttle on your sticks.
I want to point out that Taylor's also flying with a radio that he's not familiar with.
Yeah, this thing sucks.
and he's still, he's still doing pretty dang good. He's stumming it like he's supposed to. So what are you doing, Taylor? You getting a little freestyle moves in there or what?
Just trying to feel it out for racing, actually.
Yeah?
It's got the resolution that you want for a race car.
And you just down. Yeah, you want to gauge. So what do you think, though? Do you think they're worth, really trying, or do you think...
It's a good $20 motor, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a $20 motor.
I don't know that I'd spend anything more than that, because you're sacrificing weight at that point.
Okay.
And being that, what was it, 2307?
2306?
2306. It's going to be a heavier motor.
Surprisingly, they're not very heavy.
Surprisingly smooth versus how heavy I figured they would be.
They're not heavy.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It acts more like a 6S motor.
Does it?
For some reason. I don't know what it's made. What is it? Got better bearings or something?
They are I want to say N52H or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was good. Good strong motor. With your rates, it was very kind of squishy. But other than that,
cool.
Yeah, I like it. They're smooth.
So there you go. We got his input on them now. It's going to be time for me to fly these dang things and see what they're all about. And that's going to be on some DVR stuff. I wanted to hold this camera and see. Yeah, you better leave because I'm pulling some throttle.